Well, Darren, Notts County, you went to see them, I think, didn't you, on Tuesday night? What do you make of them?
Very resilient team, got a good experience in them. They managed the game very well. The last couple of games they played a different formation away from home than they did at home. They played 4-4-2 at home, and then the other night it was 4-3-3. But it'll be a tough game. They've got players in the team that know the game well, and like I say, they managed the game well the other night without really creating too much. It was a dogged performance.
They showed that dogged side to their game, didn't they? It's the A-backs back in September, all sort of hands to the pump to get a point that day.
They did. We should have beat them really, but they showed a good determination to get something out of the game at a time when we were going particularly well, our best spell of the season. So, no, we'll know what to expect. We've got a good record there, a very good record there, and hopefully that continues Saturday.
I was going to ask you about the record. It's 5 wins from the last 7. The other 2 were draws, so obviously you're on a great run there. Psychologically, I know completely different scenario, but psychologically, can that play a part at all?
Hopefully. I mean, sometimes you just get stadiums that you do really well in, and we hope we take a good crowd. It's obviously not far travelling wise, so every other game I remember from there, you know, we've always had a really good following vocally, and I hope that's the same on Saturday. And the lads have managed to get a result, so we hope that it repeats itself.
Yeah, it's an away day that posh fans traditionally love because it's close, easy to get to, and always a good atmosphere.
Absolutely, and it's a good old-fashioned stadium, you know. And so yeah, we hope that we can repeat what we've done in the past, but obviously it won't be easy. But no, they've got a dogged team, and they've brought the big lad in from Ipswich, who's a handful. He came on for a period the other night and did very well. So we've spoke about him, and we know that he'll be a threat.
Yeah, they've been busy actually, haven't they, in January?
Yeah,
6 signings, quite a turnover of players, but obviously they've been looking to freshen it up. I think 2 wins in 11, so they've been on a tough run.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Sean's got a good mix. He's got a good mix of experience with Roy Carroll, Mullins, Smith, Jones, people like that, you know, and Thompson as well. And then he's got legs around them, you know, and good youth. He's brought loan players in, a couple from Derby, I think, one from Ipswich I just spoke about. So they've got a good mix, and it'll be a tough game, there's no question about that.
Has he done pretty well overall, do you think, since he's been there? Kept them up last season, of course, and of course they're just around the playoff places at the moment.
I think he's done a really good job, Sean. A really good job. And you know, he's got Greg Abbott, good experience with him, especially in this league. But no, you'd have to say his job was, I would imagine, to keep them up last season. He did that. And this season, well, they're above us, 4 points above us, so they're doing very, very well. And hopefully that stops on Saturday. But no, I think for his first job and how he's gone about it, I think he's done a good job.
I think you were disappointed with aspects of the performance, weren't you, last weekend against Port Vale, albeit you could have won had you have taken your chances. Changes afoot possibly this weekend?
Yeah, possibly. There were certain elements of the game I was happy with, and it was simple. If you watched it, the first half was good, and then the second half, even though we gave away a sloppy second goal, we just stopped doing what we did so well in the first half. And maybe that's a belief thing in terms of maybe the lost confidence. We've spoke about that. It's important that how we set up, how we want to play, no matter how the game goes. Yeah, of course you can make tactical changes, but they need to have the belief to stick to the game plan. And if they did that on Saturday, I think we would have won the game.
You talked a few weeks ago about your current crop of strikers needing that determination to score goals, that real want to get in the box and score goals on a regular basis. Washington back on the score sheet last weekend. Are you starting to see that desire from your front men, and Washington in particular back with? I know you praised him for his performance.
I thought he was very good. Watching the game back, he was a threat the whole afternoon. Should have got a couple. Took his goal well. It played the role that he had to very, very well. And his strength's playing on the shoulder and you know, trying to occupy both centre halves, and he did that very well, and I was really pleased with him. But no, I've got him, and I've got obviously Luke, I've got Maka, and I've got Vass, and to be fair to Vass, he's fresh, you know, and he's trained well. They've all trained well, so if I went, you know, with 1 and a 1 or a 2, then I've got decent options, to be fair. But Connor's performance was a good one last week, and hopefully you just hope with strikers, and we've tried different ones. You only have one hope that a striker goes on a run. You know, that is the important thing, that he goes on a run, gets 3 games and scores 3 goals. That's the sort of thing a striker thrives for, and it's one thing, for whatever reason, we just haven't had that. And it'd be great if Connor or anyone else just went on a run and scored goals every week.
Is Vassell, do you think, less suited to that role up top on his own than maybe Washington? I say on his own, but obviously supported by three behind. But is Washington more suited to playing that way, do you think?
I think he is, yeah. I think because he wants to run in behind. And Vass could do it, but I think Vass is more suited to maybe just behind that. And he could play there. He can play in any one of the three if we went with that formation. So I think possibly Connor and Luke would be the two that are probably the ones that would run through more than the other two.
Beautyman has been playing that sort of sitting role, hasn't he, alongside Payne. Could he play in a more advanced role if you needed him to? Is that in your thoughts? He scored, I think, 11, didn't he, before he arrived here from the non-league rank?
Yeah, he could. He definitely played there a lot, just off the striker, and he can get a goal. I mean, he does sit in there, but we encourage him to get in the box as much as he can. He did. In fact, he did it very well for the goal against Port Vale. So we're not telling him not to get in the box because we're fully aware that that's one of his strengths. He's just got to, mix it up a little bit and get better at the other side of the game. But no, I've been pleased with Harry. He's brought a real energy to a game, and he needs to improve in certain elements in terms of final third, passing and things like that. But he's no different to the rest of them.
How are the players in terms of fitness? Anything fresh this week to trouble you?
No, touch wood, obviously. Just the usual ones. Taylor and being the one that's, we don't have to mention Jack. We know the situation with Jack Baldwin, and Ben, the goalkeeper. But Tails is still a good bit away.
And you talked last week about the need to get players out before you get players in. Any news on incomings or outgoings?
We're trying. The chairman's been good. I mean, it was a case of trying to make sure we balance the books for whatever reason in terms of for really the form and out the cup and the main things really. We need to make sure we get that right, and it's a case of trying to get people out. We've agreed a deal with a club for Tyrone, and it's broke down, unfortunately on personal terms. There's one or two others that we're trying, that we've got clubs interested in, and it's just not happened for whatever reason, but we're hopeful it can happen. But the chairman's allowed me to go and get one in that we're trying to get in, even if I don't get some out, so fair play to him, and he knows that we've got to try and strengthen the squad. I feel that we do need to do that, there's no question.
Yeah, and likely to happen, anything before the weekend, would you say?
We were hopeful. There's been a little bit of a last minute hitch, but we were hopeful we'd get one in, but it doesn't look like it's going to be for Saturday now.
Which I'm sure will be frustrating. It's the way of things, isn't it? Things just not perhaps going for you at the moment.
It's incredibly frustrating actually. That this one's not gone through. Well, we felt it had gone through, but it hasn't, so we'll just have to go on with it.
Burgess, fair play to him, came out and spoke to us this week, wanted to put his hand up to do media duties after his error on Saturday, and I suppose you have to respect him for that, but it's about taking those actions onto the pitch now, not just from him, but all of the players as well.
Yeah, I was probably a little bit more disappointed with the first goal than the second, and the second's just a human error. I mean, he's made the wrong decision. He should have cleared it. He knows that. He's a strong character, Burge. He's been tested a few times this season where he maybe had a couple of bad games, and like you mentioned, a mistake there, but I feel that he'll come through it no problem. He's mentally very strong, that boy.
And you need that at the moment, don't you? Mentally strong is really important, as important as probably quality on the ball and fitness, that sort of thing.
Yeah, I think you find out about people now, and I know it is an old cliche, but as it gets tougher and tougher, and each game that you lose, it does get tougher and tougher. You'll find out about the character of people, and I've got to take the ones that I know are going to be with me, not with me in that sense, but mentally are going to be able to fight and get through this sort of terrible spell we're on. And within a group of 18, 20, players, there's going to be the one or two or three that'll fall by the wayside, and I'll have to deal with that, and I'll have to make that decision, more importantly, and that's no different to any other situation I've been in.
Do you have to make sure as well that yourself, your management team, your players are looking forward to games? It must be easy to think, after the run, another match coming up, we could do without that. But I suppose you have to remember, don't you, that you are doing a job overall that you all enjoy, that you all love. You're in a game that you love, and you have to try and keep that element at the back of your head despite what's gone on recently.
No, you do. I mean, look, the Monday morning after a game on a Saturday, there's a debrief, and you deal with the situation then, and that's it dealt with. You don't go into it again. I don't. I mean, I don't know if other people do, but I don't, and my staff don't. We have the meeting, we show the clips of certain things went right, and we show the good stuff, and that's it dealt with, and then you have to improve on. But then you get them going again, and you've got to be bubbly. Obviously today and tomorrow's a bit more serious because you've got another game. But no, between the week it's important that we get good sessions into them. And they absolutely, you're right, they still enjoy it. It can't all be doom and gloom, especially during the games. And then you just hope that your perseverance turns the results around, and then all of a sudden it does become easier naturally.